have it on you when I ride up.
Hello everybody. Welcome. Thank you for joining me. And I'm going to be just doing a little talk about Darrell Brooks. I've been watching the trial, and he's the one that drove through the Christmas parade, killing and injuring. So he killed 6 people and injured like 60 of them. And I think it's so complex. And I kind of want to talk about the complexity of it and talk about it from the anger perspective of feeling angry and rage and the things it causes you to do, and also the mental illness on top of that. In my opinion, he has something. I'm not a psychologist, not a psychiatrist, but in my experience and seeing people and what they've talked about with themselves being angry, there is usually something mentally accompanying it. And what happened with him is the consequences of not having a very good mental health system here. He had a rap sheet, like he was accused of other things, and he was on bail and all kinds of things. And in my opinion, our prisons have become our mental health facilities, and that is tragic because it means more tragedies, basically, because people are not being taken care of medically like they should be, which can prevent tragedies. Understanding mental illness and trying to talk about it does not mean that I condone or agree with releasing rage like he did. So, as I said, I've been watching the trial, and he is currently representing himself. And he builds up this energy and just starts going off. It's almost like this manic rage buildup, and he can't control. And part of what I've witnessed is it builds up when when it seems like he is not being understood. Does not mean, again, that I think it's okay, because to me it's so tragic and didn't have to happen, and people are going to be living with debilitating life injuries. And I just want to try to talk about it so we can, as a society, try to improve things so we can evolve and be better, and understand that if we ignore these things, the consequences are affecting us as a whole. And when I would watch the trial, and it would be like a live stream and there would be a chat, there would be so much outrage, justifiably so. And at the same time, the outrage is a way to trigger something inside of one's own self. So my thinking about this, and it is something that I've heard Dr. Hawkins, the spiritual teacher, Dr. Hawkins, say that I believe he calls it juice. You get juice. You get triggered. This energy rises up and you can feel this like justification. Oh, you know, they are so wrong. Look what they did. And it is creating this kind of, to me, it's insanity. The insane social media like trial by, what do they call that? I'm drawing a blank. You know, trial by the social media. And I know there's a word for it because I've used it. And I will include it here when I get this together. It's problematic, and I think it's amazing how the Wisconsin courtroom has gone to great lengths to allow him to say his piece. And I think it shows all the layers of this issue. And I am going to be adding on to this as it goes along, because I've worked with people in prison who have murdered people, who have killed people with cars, who have done tragic, rageful stuff because they felt angry. And I think we need to take some time and start to teach different ways of expressing anger, to get that energy out in ways that are not harmful, because it's only energy and it's built up and released so that the person who's having the anger feels better in their mind. If I just do this one thing, it will stop the suffering. That is the ultimate goal in my mind of releasing anger, unreflective anger in situations that an individual does not have the capacity to understand, or an individual who is trying to release energy because they feel so mad and justified.
So the way to undo the ego then is radical honesty. The way of Advaita is radical truth.